Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganarakanam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishikam Vitam Sya Om Agyana Timaranda Shya Gyanajana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurkam Gurganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Nawe Bija Pranam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavaranam Balarka Shailanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Banditam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namo. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We're here on Madhya-lila, chapter 16, the Lord's attempt to go to Vrindaban. So I'm going back about 20 verses to text number 69 of the 16th chapter because we discussed some of these points yesterday in the reading of the Upadeshamrita, and I thought I'd read there's some long commentaries quoting Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and I thought I'd read those commentaries. So in text number 69, Kulina Grami Purvabad Koila Nivedan Prabhu Agya Kora Amar Kartavya Sadan. As in the previous year, one of the inhabitants of Kulinagram submitted a petition to the Lord, saying, "My Lord, kindly tell me what my duty is and how I should execute it." Prabhu ko he Vaishnava Seva Nama Sankirtan Dui Kora Shigra Pabe Sri Krishna Charan. The Lord replied, "You should engage yourself in the service of the servants of Krishna and always chant the holy name of Krishna. If you do these two things, you will very soon attain shelter at Krishna's lotus feet." So the Lord replied, "You should engage yourself in the service of the servants of Krishna and always chant the holy name of Krishna. If you do these two things, you will very soon attain shelter at Krishna's lotus feet. Te hoko he ke Vaishnava ki tara lakan tabihase kahe Prabhu jane taraman." The inhabitant of Kulinagram said, "Please let me know who is actually a Vaishnava and what his symptoms are." Understanding his mind, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and gave the following reply. Krishnanam nirantara jahara bharane se Vaishnava shreshta bhaja tahara charane. A person who is always chanting the holy name of the Lord is to be considered a first-class Vaishnava, and your duty is to serve his lotus feet. So previously we heard where the Lord replied, anyone who has chanted the holy name one time and is favorable to the Vaishnavas, that person is to be respected in one's mind. Here we're going on to further considerations of different levels of Vaishnavas. A person who is always chanting the holy name of the Lord is to be considered a first-class Vaishnava, and your duty is to serve his lotus feet. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that any Vaishnava who is constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord should be considered to have attained the second platform of Vaishnavism. Such a devotee is superior to a neophyte Vaishnava who has just learned to chant the holy name of the Lord. A neophyte devotee simply tries to chant the holy name, whereas the advanced devotee is accustomed to chanting and takes pleasure in it. Such an advanced devotee is called a Madhyam Bhagavat, which indicates that he has attained the intermediate stage between the neophyte and the perfect devotee. Generally, a devotee in the intermediate stage becomes a preacher. A neophyte devotee or an ordinary person should worship the Madhyam Bhagavat, who is a via medium. In his Upadeshamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami says, Pranati Bischa Bhajantam Isham. This means that Madhyamadikari devotees should exchange obeisances between themselves. The word Nirantara means without creation. The word Nirantara means without cessation, continuously, constantly, is very important in this verse. The word Antara means interval. If one has desires other than a desire to perform devotional service, in other words, if one sometimes engages in devotional service and sometimes strives for sense gratification, his service will be interrupted. A pure devotee, therefore, should have no desire other than to serve Krishna. He should be above fruitive activity and speculative knowledge. In his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami says, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukuyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. This is the platform of pure devotional service. One should not be motivated by fruitive activity or mental speculation, but should simply serve Krishna favorably. That is the first-class devotion. That is first-class devotion. Another meaning of antara is this body. The body is an impediment to self-realization because it is always engaged in sense gratification. Similarly, antara means money. If money is not used in Krishna's service, it is also an impediment. Antara also means janata, people in general. The association of ordinary persons may destroy the principles of devotional service. The association of ordinary persons may destroy the principles of devotional service. Similarly, antara may mean greed to acquire more money or enjoy more sense gratification. Finally, the word antara may also mean atheistic ideas, by which one considers the temple deity to be made of stone, wood, or gold. All of these are impediments. The deity in the temple is not material. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Similarly, considering the spiritual master an ordinary human being, Guru Shu Naramati, is also an impediment. Nor should one consider a Vaishnava a member of a particular caste or nation. Nor should a Vaishnava be considered material. Charanamrita should not be considered ordinary drinking water, and the holy name of the Lord should not be considered an ordinary sound vibration. Nor should one look on Lord Krishna as an ordinary human being, for he is the origin of all Vishnu Tattvas. Nor should one regard the Supreme Lord as a demigod. Intermingling the spiritual with the material causes one to look on transcendence as material and the mundane as spiritual. This is all due to a poor fund of knowledge. One should not consider Lord Vishnu and things related to him as being different. All this is offensive. In the Bhakti Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami writes, Namai kam yasya vachi smarana pata gatam iti ado deha dravinadi nimittaka pashanda shabdena cha dasha aparad lakshante. Pashanda mayatvat tesham. In the verse beginning, namaikam yasha, we find the word pashanda, godlessness. The word literally indicates misuse of one's body or property, but in that verse it implies the 10 offenses against the Lord's holy name, since each of these leads to such godless behavior. The Mayavadis look on Vishnu and Vaishnavas imperfectly due to their poor fund of knowledge, and this is condemned. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the intermediate Vaishnava is described as follows. Ishvaretad adineshu baliseshu dvisatsucha Prema Maitri Kripo Peksha Ya Karoti Sa Madhyama. The intermediate Vaishnava has to love God, make friends with the devotees, instruct the innocent, and reject jealous people. These are the four functions of the Vaishnava in the intermediate stage. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Sanatan Goswami is taught, Shraddhavan Jana Hoy Bhakti Adhikari Uttama Madhyama Kanishta Shraddha Anusari. One who is faithful is a proper candidate for devotional service. In terms of one's degree of faith in devotional service, one is a first class, second class, or neophyte Vaishnava. Shastra Jukti Nahi Jane Drida Shraddhavan Madhyama Adhikari Se Mahabhagyavan. One who has attained the intermediate stage is not very advanced in Shastric knowledge, but he has firm faith in the Lord. Such a person is very fortunate to be situated on the intermediate platform. So I would say any of these platforms, beginning platform, intermediate platform, advanced platform, they're all considered Vaishnavas, and they're all fortunate persons. So we don't demean somebody who's on the beginning platform, nor do we consider the faults of someone who's in intermediate stage. We're told that the beginner Vaishnava who's just chanting the holy name of the Lord, we're to respect that person within our mind. And the intermediate Vaishnava who is following these four principles, which is worshiping the Lord, making friends with the devotees, preaching to the innocent, and avoiding persons who are openly antagonistic or atheistic. That's the intermediate stage. That person, we are to offer obeisances to that person and consider that person as we can say, worshipable by us. So, the highest Vaishnava, we'll hear about that in succeeding verses, but that Vaishnava we're to serve with all our energy. So these stages of Vaishnavism, they're important. And by hearing about this, one can endeavor to come to the intermediate stage of worshiping the Lord, making friends with the devotees, preaching to the innocent, and avoiding the association of persons who are openly antagonistic to devotional service and to the devotees. So I'll read this. One who has attained the intermediate stage is not very advanced in Shastric knowledge, but he has firm faith in the Lord. Such a person is very fortunate to be situated on the intermediate platform. Rati prema taratamye bhakta taratama. Attraction and love for God are the ultimate goal of devotional service. The degrees of such attraction and love distinguish the different stages of devotion: neophyte, intermediate, and perfectional. An intermediate devotee is greatly attracted to chanting the holy name, and by chanting he is elevated to the platform of love. If one chants the holy name of the Lord with great attachment, he can understand his position as an eternal servant of the spiritual master. Other Vaishnavas, as an eternal servant of the spiritual master, other Vaishnavas, and Krishna himself. Thus the intermediate Vaishnava considers himself Krishnadas, Krishna's servant. He therefore preaches Krishna consciousness to innocent neophytes and stresses the importance of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. An intermediate devotee can identify the non-devotee or motivated devotee. The motivated devotee the non-devotee are on the material platform, and they are called prakrita. Intermediate devotee does not mix with such materialistic people. However, he understands that the Supreme Personality of Godhead and everything related to him are on the same transcendental platform. Actually, none of them are mundane. That's an explanation, principally referring to comments of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because it starts out by saying Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that any Vaishnava who is constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord should be considered to have attained the second platform of Vaishnavism. So here most of this purport is explaining the level of the intermediate devotee, and it's referring to a commentary of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So that was Mahaprabhu's explanation when the devotee from Kulinagram, he asked him, well, what is my duty? Tell me what my duty is and how I should execute it. And then Mahaprabhu replies, you should engage yourself in the service of the servants of Krishna and always chant the holy name of Krishna. If you do these two things, you will very soon attain shelter at Krishna's lotus feet. That is, chant the holy name and serve the Vaishnavas. It says Vaishnav Seva Nam Sankirtan. You serve the Vaishnavas and you chant the holy name. And then the inhabitant of Kulinagram had asked, please let me know who is actually a Vaishnava and what his symptoms are. Understanding his mind, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and gave the following reply. And we read the purport on that reply, which is a person who is always chanting the holy name of the Lord is to be considered a first-class Vaishnava, and your duty is to serve his lotus feet. So previously, the year before, that person from Kulinagram, they had asked the same question, what is my duty? And Mahaprabhu had replied with basically the same answer. Chant the holy name. He said, Vaishnava Seva, Nam Sankirtan. Serve the Vaishnavas and chant the holy name. And then that question was again raised previously the year before. Well, who is a Vaishnava? Anyone who has chanted the holy name one time is to be considered a Vaishnava. Anyone who's chanting the holy name at all, and as we heard last night from the Upadeshamrita, who is not inimical to the devotee, who is not in bad association, that person is to be respected in one's mind as being a Vaishnava. So then we hear today about the intermediate Vaishnava who is always chanting the holy name, who worships the Lord, serves the devotees, preaches to the innocent, and avoids atheists. So that's consideration. Then Varshantare Punatara Aiche Prashna Koila Vaishnavera Taratamya Prabhu Shikaila. The following year, the inhabitants of Kulinagram again asked the Lord the same question. Hearing this question, Mahaprabhu again taught them about the different types of Vaishnavas. Jahara darshane muke aishe krishnanam tahare janiya tumi Vaishnava pradhan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, a first-class Vaishnava is he whose very presence makes others chant the holy name of Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that if an observer immediately remembers the holy name of Krishna upon seeing a Vaishnava, that Vaishnava should be considered a Mahabhagavata, a first-class devotee. Such a Vaishnava is always aware of his Krishna-conscious duty, and he is enlightened in self-realization. He is always in love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and this love is without adulteration. Because of this love, he is always awake to transcendental realization. Because he knows that Krishna consciousness is the basis of knowledge and action, he sees everything as being concerned with Krishna. Such a person is able to chant the holy name of Krishna perfectly. Such a Mahabhagavat Vaishnava has the transcendental eyes to see who is sleeping under the spell of Maya, and he engages himself in awakening sleeping conditioned beings by spreading the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. He opens eyes that are closed by forgetfulness of Krishna. Thus the living entity is liberated from the dullness of material energy and is engaged fully in the service of the Lord. The Madhyamadakari Vaishnava can awaken others to Krishna consciousness and engage them in duties whereby they can advance. It is therefore said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lohake javat sparshi heman nahi kore tavat sparsha mani keho chinite napare. One can understand the value of touchstone. One cannot understand the value of touchstone until it turns iron into gold. One should judge by action, not by promises. A Mahabhagavata can turn a living entity from abominable material life to the Lord's service. This is the test of a Mahabhagavat. Although preaching is not meant for a Mahabhagavata can descend to the platform of Madhyam Bhagavat just to convert others to Vaishnavism. Because the most elevated Vaishnava is not necessarily concerned with preaching, because his vision is so broad that he sees everyone engaged in one way or another, whatever their actions are, he sees them as part of the Lord's total plan and sees them engaged in some role of devotional service. He's not necessarily pushed to preach internally, but sometimes that high level of Uttama Adhikari will descend to the Madhyam level to become a preacher. So here Prabhupada explains this. A Mahabhagavata can turn a living entity from abominable material life to the Lord's service. This is a test of a Mahabhagavat. Although preaching is not meant for a Mahabhagavata can descend to the platform of Madhyam Bhagavat just to convert others to Vaishnavism. Actually, a Mahabhagavata is fit to spread Krishna consciousness, but he does not distinguish where Krishna consciousness should be spread from where it should not. He thinks that everyone is competent to accept Krishna consciousness if the chance is provided. A neophyte and an intermediate devotee should always be eager to hear the Mahabhagavata and serve him in every respect. The neophyte and intermediate devotees can gradually rise to the platform of Uttama Adhikari and become first-class devotees. Symptoms of a first-class devotee are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarvabhuteshu ya pashyad bhagavad bhavam atmana bhutane bhagavati atmani esha bhagavatotama. The most advanced devotee sees within everything the soul of all souls, the Supreme Personality of God as Sri Krishna. Consequently, he sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord and understands that everything that exists is eternally situated within the Lord. When teaching Sanatan Goswami, the Lord further said, Shastra yukve shuni puna drida shraddhajar uttamadikare se Taraye Samsar. One who is expert in the Vedic literature and has full faith in the Supreme Lord is an Uttamadhikari, a first-class Vaishnava, a topmost Vaishnava who can deliver the whole world and turn everyone to Krishna consciousness. So one who is expert in the Vedic literature and has full faith in the Supreme Lord is an Uttamadhikari, a first-class Vaishnava, a topmost Vaishnava, who can deliver the whole world and turn everyone to Krishna consciousness. With great love and affection, the Mahabhagavata observes a Supreme Personality of God at devotional service in the devotee. He observes nothing beyond Krishna, Krishna consciousness, and Krishna's devotees. The Mahabhagavata knows that everyone is engaged in the Lord's service in different ways. He therefore descends to the middle platform to elevate everyone to the Krishna conscious position. Krama Kori Kohe Prabhu Vaishnava Lakan Vaishnavatara Ara Vaishnavatam. Oh, let me try and pronounce this correctly. Krama Kore Kohe Prabhu Vaishnava Lakan Vaishnavatar Ara Vaishnavatam. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught the distinctions between different types of Vaishnavas, the Vaishnava, the Vaishnavatar, and Vaishnavatam. He thus successively explained all the symptoms of a Vaishnava to the inhabitants of Kulinagram. Emata Sab Vaishnava Gore Chalila Vidyanidhi Se Vatsara Niladri Rohila. Finally, all the Vaishnavas returned to Bengal, but that year, Pundarik Vidyanidhi remained at Jagannath Puri. Swarup Sahita Tara Hoy Sakyapriti Dui Janai Krishna Katai Ekatra Istiti. Swarup Damodar Goswami and Pundarik Vidyanidhi had a friendly, intimate relationship, and as far as discussing topics about Krishna, they were situated on the same platform. Now they apparently seem very dissimilar, and that Pundarik Vidyanidhi is a rich person, and he has fine clothes, oiled and perfumed hair, and appears to be when Gadadhar Pandit first saw him, Gadadhar Pandit could not understand how Pundarik Vidyanidhi was really a Vaishnava. Because he's seeing that he didn't fit the image of what a Vaishnava is, in terms of that he's a rich man and has so many external features that didn't appear like an ordinary Vaishnava. But here it says that Swarup Damodar, who's a very advanced person and very intimately related with Mahaprabhu, it says Swarup Damodar and Pundarik Vidyanidhi were situated on the same platform. They were close friends, and they were on the same level of devotional realization, one you could say, or like, let's just say they were very close, and they were both deep devotees of the Lord. Gadadhar Pandite le teho puna mantra dila adana shastira dine jatra jedekila. Pundarik Vidyanidhi initiated Gadadhar Pandit for the second time. In other words, gave him Gayatri initiation. And on the day of Odana Shashti, Pundarik Vidyanidhi saw the festival. So this story is explained by Srila Sridhar Maharaj very, very nicely. And he explains how Mukunda took Pundarik told to Gadadhar Pandit, do you want to go see a Vaishnava? And Gadadhar Pandit was very eager for that. And he took him to see Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And when Gadadhar Pandit saw Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he couldn't understand that he's a Vaishnava. He looked just like a rich man. And someone who apparently looked addicted to enjoyment. But when Mukunda sang a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam about how Krishna is so merciful that he gave liberation to the level of like a nurse or a parent. There's the Sakya and Vats, the different levels of devotion are Dasya, Sakya, Vatsa, what is it? The level of parent. I'm trying to think of the what's can Vatsalya Ras? Yeah. Okay. See, things that I know, in a moment of feeling some pressure to remember, then my brain refuses to cooperate. So, Krishna, Putana came and had poisoned her breast, and Krishna was a baby and he was sucking on her breast, so apparently then Krishna sucked out her life's air, but at the same time he gave her liberation to the Vatsalya platform as like a wet nurse is in that Vatsalya platform. So he gave her liberation, and there's a verse of Bhagavatam that says that, and when Mukunda, a whole Bhakti starts out like that. So when Mukunda sang that, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he began tearing his hair, his clothes, destroyed almost everything in the whole room, went practically into ecstatic convulsions, and then went into trance for 7 hours. So then, that was a very graphic demonstration, and Gadadhar Pandit thought, I misunderstood who this Vaishnava is, and then he desired to take initiation from Pundarik Vidyanidhi as to counter his offense and thinking bad of him. But first Gadadhar Pandit asked permission or asked advice from Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu told him, yes, this is very good. And Mahaprabhu himself, before Pundarik Vidyanidhi arrived, was referring to him as Bap Pundarik, as my father Pundarik, because Pundarik Vidyanidhi is an incarnation of Vrishabhanu Raj, the father of Srimati Radharani, and in the Krishna-lila. So, an elevated personality. So, Gadadhar Pandita Teho Punan Mantra Dila Odana Shastir Dine Jatra Jadakila. Pundarik Vidyanidhi initiated Gadadhar Pandit for the second time, and on the day of Odana Shashti, Pundarik Vidyanidhi saw the festival. At the beginning of winter, when does winter begin here on the calendar? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
The 21st of December, I think it is. Okay. Pundarik Vidyanidhi initiated Gadadhar Pandit for the second time, and on the day of Odana Shashti, Pundarik Vidyanidhi saw the festival. So, at the beginning of winter, there is a ceremony known as the Odana Shashti. This ceremony indicates that from that day forward, a winter covering should be given to Lord Jagannath, like a wool chadar to Lord Jagannath. That covering is directly purchased from a weaver. According to the Archana Marg, a cloth should first be washed to remove all that starch, and then it can be used to cover the Lord. Pundarik Vidyanidhi saw that the priest neglected to wash the cloth before covering Lord Jagannath. Since he wanted to find some fault in the devotees, he became indignant. Well, first of all, we know that Pundarik Vidyanidhi is a very advanced devotee, but he didn't appreciate how the Lord was being, how the pujari was putting on garments from the Lord that were stiff. They still had starch in them. Starch is when they're weaving cloth, to weave the cloth nicely, they starch the threads so that the loom will keep the threads in line, and the cloth will be woven nicely. So they use starch threads rather, and then naturally the cloth that's woven has starch in it. Then it should be washed. So that's something that happens when weaving to help the loom be able to properly fit all the threads together. But then the injunction is the cloth should be washed to take the starch out of it before it's placed on the deity. But the pujaris didn't do that. They just put new cloth directly on the Lord without taking the starch out of it. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi saw that and he was very angry. Jagannath Parinat Tata Madhuya Basan Dekiya Sagrina Hoila Vidyan Nidirman. When Pundarik Vidyanidhi saw that Lord Jagannath was given a starch garment, he became a little hateful. In this way, his mind was polluted. He couldn't tolerate that. So, Seyratriye Jagannath Balai Asya Duibai Chadana Tare Hasya. That night, the brothers, Lord Jagannath and Balaram, came to Pundarik Vidyanidhi and smiling began to slap him. Galafulila Charya Antare Ulas Vistare Varnijachan Vrindavanadas. Although his cheeks were swollen from the slapping, Pundarik Vidyanidhi was very happy within. This incident has been elaborately described by Thakur Vrindavan. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi was very angry with the pujaris who were putting this starch cloth on the deities, Jagannath, Baladeva, and Subhadra. But that night, Jagannath and Baladev came to him in a dream and said, "What's the matter with you?" And they began slapping him. And by the time he awoke, his cheeks were all swollen from the slapping. They must have given him a good slapping. Emata pratyabdai she godera bhaktagan prabhu sange rahe kore Chatradarashan every... So actually, Pundarik Vidyanidhi was ecstatic to have been slapped by Jagannath and Baladev. Jagannath and Baladev didn't like that their pujaris were criticized. Every year, the devotees of Bengal would come and stay with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to see the Ratha Yatra festival. Taramadye Jeje Barshe Achaye Vishesh Vistariya Agetaha Kohiba Nishesh. Whatever happened during those years that is worth noting shall be described later. Emata Mahaprabhu Chare Vatsara Gela Dakina Jana Ashite Dui Vatsara Lagila. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed 4 years. He spent the first 2 years on his tour in South India. So 2 years Mahaprabhu in South India. Aradui Vatsara Chahe Vrindavana Jaite Ramananda Hate Prabhu Napare Chalite. The other 2 years, Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindaban, but he could not leave Jagannath Puri because of Ramananda Roy's tricks. So he didn't want to go against the wishes of the devotees, so he would say, I want to go to Vrindaban, and then Ramananda Roy would say, well, yes, but now the devotees are coming from Bengal. And then he would say, you should wait till you should wait till the Chaturmash is over, because it's not a good time to travel in the rainy season. Then he would say, you can go in during the time of Kartik. Now we're in Kartik. And then Ramananda Roy said, but now it's too cold. Now it's not a good time. Then you should wait till Dol Yatra. And then Dol Yatra would come. So he was always finding excuses. Actually, Ramananda Roy and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya were very afraid of being separated from the Lord. So out of affection, they made all these excuses. But then Mahaprabhu didn't want to go against them, so 2 years he's waiting to go to Vrindaban. The other 2 years, Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindaban, but he could not leave Jagannath Puri because of Ramananda Roy's tricks. Panchama Vatsare Godera Bhaktagan Aila Ratadeki Narohila Godere Chalila. During the 5th year, the devotees from Bengal came to see the Ratha Yatra festival. After seeing it, they did not stay but returned to Bengal. Tabe Prabhu Sarvabhauma Ramananda Stane Alingana Kori Kohe Madhura Bachane. Then Mahaprabhu placed a proposal before Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Ramananda Roy. He embraced them and spoke sweet words. Bahuta Utkanta Mora Jaite Vrindavan Tomara Hate Dui Batsara Na Koelun Gaman. Mahaprabhu said, my desire to go to Vrindaban has very much increased. Because of your tricks, I have not been able to go there for the past 2 years. Avashya Chaliba Duhe Koraha Samati Toma Duha Bina Mora Nahi Anyagati. This time I must go. Will you please give me permission? Save for you too, I have no other resort. So he's saying, I'm not going because of you. Now please give me permission. Godadeshe Hoy Mora Dui Samashroy Janani Janavi A Dui Doyamoy. In Bengal I have 2 shelters. My mother, Janani, Janani means one's mother, and Janavi, and the river Ganges. Janavi means Ganges. So Janani and Janavi, these are my 2 shelters. My mother and the river Ganges. Both of them are very merciful. Godadesh, Diya, Jab, Tasaba, Dekiya, Tumi, Duhe, Agyadeho, Parasana, Hoya. I shall go to Vrindaban through Bengal and see both my mother and the river Ganges. Now, would you two be pleased to give me permission? Shunya Prabhur Bani, Mane Vicharai, Prabhu Sane, Ati Hata Kabu, Balonoi. When Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Ramananda Roy heard these words, they began to consider that it was not at all good that they had played so many tricks on the Lord. Duhe kohe ebe varsha, chalite nariba, vijay dashami aile, abashya chaliba. They both said, now that the rainy season is here, it will be difficult for you to travel. It is better to wait for Vijay Dashami before departing for Vrindavan. So this is the truth, it's not a trick. But they're telling him, you go on the Vijayadashami day. That's when Lanka or Sri Lanka was defeated. When Ramachandra defeated Ravana, it's a Vijayadashami day. So we passed that Vijayadashami day here, and we've also passed Diwali, which is when Mahaprabhu, little after that, he returns to Ayodhya, and they light up the whole city with lights. So that festival was held very recently, and especially in northern India. Anande Mahaprabhu Varsha Koila Samadan Vijayadashami Dine Korila Payan. Mahaprabhu was very pleased to thus receive their permission. He waited until the rainy season passed, and when the day of Vijayadashami arrived, he departed for Vrindaban. So that's where I got yesterday, and today I wanted to read those very nice verses about where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains the different levels of Vaishnavas, because we also covered that same points, and some of the verses were quoted in the Upadeshamrita class yesterday. So I thought they went together nicely, and today we read that. Tomorrow we can start. Besides that, yesterday in the class I was very tired, and I couldn't give a proper reading to some of the later verses because I was just exhausted, so I was mispronouncing the verses. But today I think I covered it more attentively. So, all right, we'll stop here, sing Hari Haraya, and go on with our morning schedule. Tonight we have a program in San Jose. It's the deity's arrival day in the temple on St. James Street. That day we took the deities in a palanquin from their place at 17th and Empire, where they were staying before, and we had a parade through San Jose and took them to their new place, which that was about 20 years ago. But we're celebrating that anniversary day of the deity's arrival in the San Jose Ashram. And that will be tonight, and the program will start at 6 o'clock. If anyone hearing this wants to take. Pardon me? I believe he is.
With lots of devotees.
I hope so. You want to go?
Sure.
Huh?
Sure.
Okay, well, you're welcome to go. What?
How are you going?
I'll go with Shambhunath. We can probably take the van and take devotees if people want to go. But forewarned as we may not get back till after 10. So that's this evening.
And tomorrow's Bhakti Yoga.
Bhakti Yoga.
We have people early cooking and stuff like that.
Yes, but they don't cook at 4 in the morning, so they have time.
I always have to remember, service gives you energy, it doesn't take it away.
Pardon me?
Service gives you energy, it doesn't take it away.
Yeah. And Kitri is, in my opinion, is always good even the second day. You could cook the Kitri this afternoon if you wanted. All right. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jaravaya Namah Haraya Namah Krishna Jaravaya Namah Jaravaya Manavaya Keshavaya Namah Jaravaya Manavaya Keshavaya Namah Gopal Govinda Ram Shriman Suran Gopal Govinda Ram Shriman Suran Hare Gopinatha Varana Moha Hare Gopinatha Varana Moha Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Chu Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Statara Saja Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Statara Saja Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Srila Sachidananda Ramananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jayam Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasharagana Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Vrindaban Das Thakur ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad ki jai. Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu ki jai. Vishvavaranya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Jayom Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhya-lila Vrinda ki jai. Shri Navadip Dham ki jai. Shri Ram Mayapur ki jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Koladvip ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram ki jai. Ganga Devi ki jai. Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Vrindaban Dham ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. So today is the end of Chaturmasya. It's Ras Purnima, and the arrival celebration of the arrival of Mahaprabhu at the St. James Ashram place, temple. So, and
installation of the deities in Sri Vrindavan.
So the installation of the deities in Sri Vrindavan. So apparently that due to, I wonder if they're always on the same day or just this year something, maybe the titis combined.
It's always Ras Purnima.
Oh,
Okay, so it's Ras Purnima, all right. So it's Ras Purnima. There's actually two different Ras Purnima days. One's in Shra, and so the previous one. Well, there's a Shravan Ras Purnima, and then I believe this one is different. But they're both Ras Purnima days.
so that's the Rasalila dancer
Yes, that's a Rasalila dance
tonight.
Yeah.
But this the other one was a more principal one, but this is also Ras Purnima. Ras. Okay. Jai.
I'm Sripad, Srila Bhakti Pavan, Janardan.
I believe